Hey there, Chad here. Thanks for joining me. This is Hollywood Animal with my studio, Stubborn Mule Studios, and we are moving right along. We're into January of 1931. I'm going to unpause here. We've had a successful movie with City of Shadows. It's making a little bit of money for us, and looking forward to seeing how it does in its second 4-week run. Jim Lutz is returning from vacation. That's great. I think we're going to put him back on, what do we call this? Story element duty. There we go. That'll give him something to do for a while. He's come up with a few. He's our best chance right now, I think. Or, well, maybe Rick is actually. No, they're about the same. 43% is what we would see. So we'll see what he comes up with here. Maybe he can come up with something that isn't, on the vulgar side of movie making. Be great if he came up with a one that we could use fairly regularly, as opposed to the ones he has been getting. And we have a problem with 3 sheets. Our lead actor suddenly realized he is a head shorter than the actress. When you're really in love, size isn't the only thing that matters. Shoot it how it looks. Lowers the quality of the film, or Charlie Graham, aka Shorty, can have his happiness decreased. Well, he's pretty happy. So we're going to, you know what, Charlie? Suck it up, buddy. As my football coach would have said. So we're going to go that route with Charlie. And it's been a minute. Let's go see if we have any new talent out there that is chomping at the bit to either leave Gerstein or ready to sign on with us. Here's a guy from Supreme that's coming up, and I think I want to mention, I want him to let me know when he is available. We might want to see if we can pick him up. Here's one, Don Bornstein, in 2 days. So we're gonna watch that carefully. He is pretty high on us. So we'll watch this note until the 11th and see, or the 12th really, I guess, and see if he ends up dropping or not. So what is actually available? We're not in horrible shape with directors, honestly. We have a couple anyway. 80, yeah, we have 3 over 7. That's really decent. So we're not really super hurting there. An 8.9 is always awesome, but that guy's locked up for many years. But the one we're back to actors. I'm sorry. Back to directors. This guy, 6.7. He'd still be an upgrade over a couple of our guys. Wouldn't be the worst. What we really need is producers. And we have a producer available now. Do we? Yes, that's nice. I thought there was another one named, was he the one we gave a gift to? That's not what I meant to do. Let's back out of that real quick. I wanted to hit this. Give a gift. We did give him a gift. I thought he would tell us that he had come available. So without advancing time, did we get an announcement? Not seeing one. Nonetheless, we're signing him up. Whoops. That's not what I meant to do. We want to go back to where we were, and we want to go to producers, and we want to go to employee center. And ultimately, we're going to go to free, and there he is. Well, we need a really solid producer. He is expensive. That's okay. We need a really good producer. So we're going to grab him. We'll give him all the gifts we can and services. And that'll change over time. We'll have much better offerings to give him, but there we go. He's going to cost us a little bit of cash, about 10% of what we got, really. But we lock him up for 3 years. That's a solid move on our part. I'm happy with that. No other upgrades there. I wouldn't mind going back to all just to see if there's anybody else. We had that one guy that was like on a 2-day notice. Nobody else quite like that, but also the ones we really would want to target, 6 and above, they're all locked up. This guy in a couple of months, might want to take a hard look at him. Cinematographers. Stanley Higgins is available. He's not a very happy man, but He's not the most expensive one we've ever seen. Where's he fall? 7.6? What are we looking at? We are looking at a 7.7 and an 8.9. So he'd be our number 3, but he'd be a very, very strong number 3. Harry Ray, we're going to let go when his contract expires. Thomas might share that fate. I kind of think maybe we should go ahead and go for it. We'll go back to cinematographers. Stanley Higgins. He is chased. If you think about all the possible outcomes of negative traits, that's one of the less concerning ones, I guess. So, and what else is, I mean, if we're being honest, the best that's out there, he's among them. He's among the best that we don't have signed. So I think we're going to go ahead and take him. It'll be a little bit of money, but he's really good with sound studios too. I think that kind of locks it up for me. We have guys that are good with location. Let's get one that's good with studio work. And once again, this is why we have the gifts. He's going to cost us $90,000. That's okay. Take that. I probably do oversign talent. I do know that. I probably have more actors than I need. Wouldn't hurt to take a quick peek through there as well, real quick. I think we're probably in pretty good shape, though. I mean, she's not bad for $6,000 a year. That wouldn't be the worst we've ever done. But we will we'll hold off for now. So here's where I start to weigh this out. She's a 5, and she is capped, but she's $6,000 a year. She's a 4.8, uncapped, a few years younger, but she's $55,000 a year. So you do want to kind of keep those things in mind as you're kind of planning out who do you want to pick up or not. And it doesn't hurt to have lower end actors that you bring up. We're going to do films that are on the lower tier of things, and we are going to be putting actors in positions where they're in films that are better than they are, but that does help them out. So don't shy away from that too much. And let's see. So from an editor perspective, we still have no awesome options, and composers is often the same. Actually a 4. It's $3,600 a month. He's as good as Lewis, who's $8,800 a month. I don't know that I've seen that before. Let me jump back over there. I'm kind of, he's locked at 4 though. He's not going to get any better. Lewis can continue to improve. But yeah, that doesn't come up that often. I almost think that's something to go ahead and bite on. I'm gonna do that. We're gonna take him, and then we're gonna go to our employees, and I think we still have Lee, who's considerably not as good and probably a more expensive. We're getting rid of Lee. Sorry, Lee, we got somebody else. You'll never work in this town again. That was a great Phil Hartman skit. If you've never seen it, Saturday Night Live skit, Phil Hartman and John Lovitz. I don't remember exactly what it's called, but it was an actor hearing from his agent that he was washed up, and it's a great skit. If I remember to look it up, I'll put that in the comments or something, and people can take a peek at that. All right, let's move forward. Richard Stripes, the district attorney, another guy that you kind of want to have on your good side. Richard is fed up with corruption in government. He feels that our current mayor, Carpenter, is very corrupt. He's probably right. I think you could look at some of what they talk about as typical partisan politics between what he says and that what you see the mayor does. So, pick your poison, right? But what he wants us to do is make a make a movie about corruption in the government. And it's not a bad thing to have in your back pocket as a tool as far as the element. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And we're going to go the easy route of we'll do one within 2 years. We could probably do it within a year pretty easily, but I'm not going to push it. We're going to go with a year. And again, district attorney, somebody you want on your side where possible. I don't use his his talents that much, but they're there, and at least you don't get the negative side of if he's coming after you, I guess. I haven't really seen what that looks like, but I know the mayor can be really brutal. So there you go. Let's get that one started. So this, okay, first we'll get a clock with 3 hands into production. Should be pretty straightforward. Bumped up over a point. That's good. It didn't have anywhere to go but up, honestly, but we'll take it. And we'll put a security guard on it. Raphael, looks like we might have to hire another security guard soon. That's moving on, but now story elements, synopses. Got 2 in the works. Let's have a third. I don't think we're going to have anybody to work it just yet. We're going to call this politics. We're just going to go with something kind of generic. The radio hour. And let's make it a thriller and a drama. And we'll split that up pretty well. It's about town or city politics, so I think we're going to go that route. We're going to go with corrupt official. This is what we got. We can have it be a female. I think we're going to go with a male. The protagonist, let's make the protagonist, I don't know, like a working man. Maybe we'll make the lead a female with a corrupt official. Supporting character is going to be a mentor. Themes. Heroes in uniform feels like it would be kind of appropriate, right? But avenging loved ones, that could work. Probably not shootout. This is going to be more of a psychological thriller, I guess. And yeah, I think we'll go with avenging loved ones. Maybe the corrupt official did something that led to the death of somebody she cared about. That's kind of what we're going to do. And the antagonist repents, recognizes the errors of their ways. What else could we throw in here from an element perspective? Or we could throw in like a sidekick or an angry boss. Rival doesn't make a lot of sense. Love interest doesn't make sense. Strict parent, probably not working for us either. So back to themes. Jousting tournament, definitely. Let's go with the jousting. No. Struggle for better life. That feels like that makes some sense. Okay, that's what we're going with. And we don't have a screenwriter for it right now. So we're just going to close this down and send it to the archive. And honestly, with the exception of the guy who's on the low end, the other 3, I'll use whoever comes up first. Probably end up being Rick, maybe Roger. And we now have 7 story elements. If I'd waited just one more day, but that's okay. I feel like that film is kind of packed pretty well right now. If we go to 8 story elements, that's going to take 500 days. So let's see what else we can maybe get. We could go with a script doctor. That's less than a year. The other one that I do like to take is that you just get a new story element every 6 months. You don't even have to research it. Your head of the department figures it out, comes up with a new idea, and that's going to take 300 days. I think we'll go with script doctor, although I don't tend to have great success with the script doctor. It's nice to have it available, and we will go ahead and pay for that privilege. So we'll knock it off by 30 days. And there you have it. That's underway. Now it's just a matter of waiting for a bit. Double reputation for profitable films. That is great. So this will start to go up a lot more quickly. We tend to have profitable films. We've only had one that wasn't. And I do have that happen. Usually there's one film I just can't make work. I have to cut corners too much or something. Let's go with reputation for loyalty. We could do double rep. Oh no, that's locked, isn't it? I didn't remember that being locked before, but okay. Charity is the other one we can go with. You basically give charity points to gain, is it influence? Reputation, to gain more reputation. Well, we're going to see our reputation begin to flourish. So we're okay with this. And what do we have going on with 3 sheets? Charlie Graham got sunstruck and started thinking he was a real cowboy. He was telling everyone in graphic detail about brutally killing the Indians. Outstanding. His stories scared the whole crew. So a few things we can do. Let the idiot tell whatever stories he wants. The crew stays unhappy. Someone tell him he's not a real cowboy. His happiness goes down and the film suffers. Stop filming and get him to a hospital. His happiness decreases significantly. Same as this one. His loyalty decreases and the film stops for 10 days. Well, this is more penalties than this. So I would probably go with this. Although this is crew happiness versus his personal happiness. I don't know. I don't quite know how to weigh that, but I'm thinking that this double whammy is going to drop him to 40-20, and I don't want to do that. I think we'll go with this. I don't want to lower the quality of the film. So we're going to go with this. The crew is going to be unhappy, and we will see what kind of impact that has in the very near future. Anthony Campbell needs some time off. Okay, Anthony. There we go. City of Shadows is still doing pretty well. Production support. That is a building I think we build. Yep. So we'll need to add that. And then next up for us over here, line production allows us to do some things like it gives us some control over film scheduling, basically. And then it leads to the ability to have a second crew team, a second film crew team that you can use during your filming, and it will shorten the amount of time it takes to get a movie done. It costs about $1,000 a day when you do that, but almost always, in my opinion, it pays out. In fact, it decreases overall cost is what it looks like to me almost always. So I think the other alternative is going to level 3 sound stages, and that's not a horrible thing either, but it takes a really, really, really long time. So we're going to go over here to line production office for now. Maybe we'll get some more bonuses in the meantime. I don't think we need to spend $200,000 on that. Maybe $150,000. Do need to watch our budget a little bit there. So yeah, we'll pare that back just a fraction. And then there was a Western released that was very graphic and people protest it. And that's kind of a warning to us that, yeah, Hollywood is on notice that people are a little bit upset with some of the things that are coming out in movies. Journey to Tombstone won't be one of those. This is Wendy's movie. So, okay, so first of all, City of Shadows did great in its second 4 weeks. It grossed 220, but that was well over what we spent on it because I think we only spent $37,000 in ads. So its overall profit over $1 million. We're going to take that. We're going to go ahead and end the distribution. I don't think we can squeeze much more blood out of this rock. There we have it. Good run. And then we have Journey to Tombstone. B-, not bad. Not bad. I was concerned it was going to be worse than that. All right. And let's see, what did Wendy get? Wendy got 0.8. So she did well. She got a good amount of experience there. 260 points. Looks like that was about half of her skill so far. So that's good. Total spent 787, so there is the bar. We need to get above that. And Fred Carpenter is really thrilled with seeing his daughter in a movie. So he is now our friend. There we have it. So a couple of things we get from him. We can go to parties and gain influence. That's really good. And we also have the opportunity to get an experienced lawyer that he's friendly with. Now, if he ever loses office, these go away because he's no longer in the public eye. We don't really care anymore. What have you done for me lately kind of syndrome, I guess. Then the other thing is, his nephew has a construction firm. We can help him out and give him some points. Get some goodwill points by doing that. I'm going to pass on that. The other one we can do is tout his achievements at our theaters in the trailers before movies. And that gets us 30 points. It'll run for 6 months. Again, people that aren't a fan of his kind of foo-foo it, and so we tend to have slightly less attendance. You know, it's a decision you get to make. I'm going to hold off on making a decision there, and I now have 2 friends, the chief of police and the mayor. There we go. And a problem on 3 sheets again. So 3 sheets is our problem movie. It always seems to be one that gets 4 different things that happen to it. In this case, the horse that was trained can't stand the lead actor. She becomes aggressive when he's nearby and refuses to let him in the saddle. Who can blame her? Our options: find a way to deal with it, slows things down. We basically lose 7.5 days. Let's call it 8 days. We don't have heroin to give to the horse. We don't have the ability to hire emergency doubles. We could remove the horse riding from the script, which lowers it, or we can find another horse for $500. We lose 3 days instead of 8 days. We'll do that. And you'll notice that money looked like it came out of here, though. It didn't come out of there. Interesting. Okay. We have to pay our taxes. We're going to go ahead and do that. We don't have to pay our taxes, but I choose to because I just feel like it's a complication I don't need to deal with. Solomon Carr's contract is up. He is a solid actor and he is a rising star. So this is somebody we do want to hold on to. We've had some success with him. So I think we can come in here and we get the 10% discount, which also applies to these things, which is kind of why we want to do that. So $131,000 a year, take off 10% of that, call him $120,000 a year for just 1 year. I would want to go to at least 2. I think we'll do 2 years. Let's see if we can squeeze more work out of him and maybe get to the point where he likes us even better. So that's going to cost us $214. Okay, well, we need to hold on to him. So there we go. And Albert, the director, needs a vacation. There we go. Well, he did just finish a film. Blood and Bourbon. Yeah, it was probably a rough one to do. Hey, it improved. Good. Let's get this into an editor. I'm going to hit back only for a moment. I wanted to see, the other one coming up is 3 sheets. Well, this one is a 6.7. This is a 6.2. Yeah, we want as good a quality as we can get on both of these, but this one being a little bit higher. To start, we're going to go with Emma on this one. I'm going to go with Emma, but for the composer, we're going to go with Wallace. Give Wallace some work. And we will use our own studio for this. So we're not spending a whole lot more money for this. And there it is. Now, when the next one comes along, we're probably going to have to use another editor. We don't have great options there. We'll have to see what else. Maybe 3 sheets will have 2 more problems that hold it up another 15 days. Who knows? And, we want to build this out. Production support. Yes, we do want to do that. That is a good one to have. We'll put them right there. Here it is. Yeah, going to have to do that. And I'm going to pause for just a moment. I think it's time. Well, where are we on these? We want to get one of these out right away. Doyle's big break. We want to do that immediately. Roger's movie will be ready before then. We're gonna. I think we're gonna wait for this one. We'll wait another 4. Man, 4 weeks is a long time to wait. I mean, that's a whole cycle of a movie, right? So we'll go ahead and start another one. We'll try to make it a middle tier one. So we have this. The Butler did it. It is a romantic comedy. Has all the pinings of that kind of show. So that one could work. Gangster's Moon, also Rick. Town. Antagonist gets punished. Female character that is the sidekick. So working man with a bandit and a shootout. Gangster's Moon. Maybe that's a way to go. Let's do that. We'll go with kind of mid-tier stuff as best we can. So we'll go with Stanley on this one. Stanley Higgins. And we'll go with he's good with sound stages. We'll take the good one. Maybe this one won't be used by the time we want it. We'll start here. Town Square is the only one that location is a significant factor, so we can dial these back. It's only a 57-day movie to begin with. Put the diner and the store inside down to 53 days. That's not the worst thing. It'll get done quick. We will definitely use the better technologies. Weird this is showing up on the top. Usually it's the better ones tend to flow to the bottom, has been my experience. 200,000 to make this one. I think I can deal with that. Producer, we've got some options now. We're going to go with Johnny on this, actually. He matches pretty well, so that should be okay, and it'll give us some flexibility with other movies coming up. The director, the only director we have available is Herman. Let's see if there's anybody out there to hire. There is. We do. We have a director we could possibly hire here. I don't see anybody with the super positive traits or the laurels or the popcorn, but we have a guy who's a 6.7. I think we're going to go with him. You know what? Let's go with just one movie for this. This will significantly reduce his rate. We'll give him insurance while he's doing it, and let's give him, we need to buy some watches, don't we? We'll give him this, and we end up spending only about $7,000. So we'll take that. There you go, pal. Okay, and then for the cop, well, we just re-signed Solomon, didn't we? He hasn't played a cop. He's been, yeah, I think we can go with him here. His sidekick. Oh, I think we have to use Concepcion. We haven't yet. And then the bandit. Henry Perry. Does Henry Perry make a good bandit? Another rising star. Louis Blair is older. I think I want to use Louis in the other major movie I've got coming out. I don't think I want to go with Gutman. Let's see if there's anybody else out there we might want to hire. It's not really looking like it. Oh, this guy's not so bad. Oliver Wood. 4.3. He's priced reasonably. He's extremely young. I don't think that makes sense for that role. I forgot what the role is. Bandit. Yeah, bandit. That doesn't make a lot of sense. So, as silly as it is, we might go with Clark. We're going to go with Clark Reese. Yeah, give him some work. He hasn't worked for us in a while. His happiness is suffering. I am going to try to help that out a little bit. There we go. And that's everybody. We're going to continue. Going to do my best not to forget to go to services as soon as we're done with this and get more watches. Hey, we're paused. Good. So there we go. Gifts. Yep, we definitely want to do this. I like to have plenty of these on hand. You don't get them immediately. It takes time. So for quite a while, I will have a supply of these watches available. The fact that I'm using the police chief's friendship to keep them from raiding, I won't lose them, is what that kind of does. So we still are looking for one more of these. It'll get us to 9 of them. Looks like 10 days each. So we want to kind of stock up on these two. We're going to go with 25. Again, costing a little money, but that's okay. There we go. Okay, I think I've got everything where I want it right now. Let's roll. Journey to Tombstone's doing really well. And okay, so that message that just popped up down there, I did try to pause it. It closed anyway. It was that the Hespro that we're using, the camera, we met another one of its obligations to get to the better version of it. So that's awesome. And Journey to Tombstone is definitely going to get extended. Jessica Franz is returning. That's great. Repair crew. We finally have the repair crew. Yay. Okay, so I had chosen to go landscape first and then repair crew. If we'd done it the other way around, we'd just now be getting the landscaping. But this is why I tend to buy all my buildings at the high end, because I didn't have the repair crew until just now. At this point, it may make better sense to go ahead and buy them at the low end, and we'll start doing that, saving a little money and then using the repair crew that we're already paying to fix them up. I usually go with water next. I think it's a push. You can go with water, you can go with power. That's all we have options for right now. Everything else is blocked off. So we're going to go with water. Like to build the water tower. I don't need it to be extremely quick. And we are trying to watch our figure a little bit. So we'll knock 50 days off for, well, it's $1,000 a day, isn't it? So I think we're okay with just that. And Journey to Tombstone, the numbers are in. It did really well the first couple of weeks. Another one that we underestimated how many folks we could get in the seats. So that's important to know. It was a 4.7 and we got easily 5,000. So much so that we still had 100% seating in the next week. And there's plenty to run on this yet, it looks like. We could probably squeeze out another, I would say not quite double this, but we'll probably get another 220,000 out of this at least. So we're going to do that. We will only use our theaters and we'll leave them all available, even though attendance was at 86. So with other movies kind of falling off, it's possible we could get an uptick. So we're going to go ahead and go with all of our theaters. It won't hurt us at all. Costs us nothing. We do not have to print more films. We're using the ones that were already printed. And we're going to want to do some advertising. That is what we're going to pay for. And we're going to drop another 90,000 on that. So there you have it. But it is now in its held over 4 more weeks. And there's another camera. So we're up to 3 films using the camera out of 5 that we need. One of those has to last over 100 days. But sets and prop, the construction is done. So we should start seeing better results on props. And Clara needs a couple of months off. Okay, Clara. Ooh, her happiness is really low. So let's see what goes up here. It was her loyalty. Well, we'll probably want to address her happiness in the near future. And 3 Sheets is now ready to go into post-prod. And this is the one I'm a little bit torn on. Oh, does it go? It goes up. We're going to wait. We're going to wait on this one until we have the good editor and until Emma's available. As much as I hate to do that, this is a really powerful movie and we want to maximize it. So we're going to hold off on post-production for now. That was including some, the reputation drop and actor happiness. Even the crew happiness fell off, but overall happiness improved to the movie. So we're going to close that and sit on it until this one is done, which will be very soon, actually, 13 more days. Marie Freeman needs to spend some time with a friend for a couple of months. There we go. That boosted both of her stats by 20. The script for Love Letters from Paris, which I think we put Roger on. Not bad. Good start with that one. It was Roger. And we put this one together, so I'm really comfortable with it. We're going to shelve it for now, but it will get done soon. We're actually waiting for Doyle's Big Break, which has got 3 more days, and we'll probably start that one right away. There it is, Doyle's Big Break. Let's just go ahead and get it out the door. Almost a 6 and a 6-1. One of the rare ones that I see where the artistic appeal starts higher than the commercial appeal. Usually I'm running into commercial being higher, and I'm okay with that. That's my baseline. So this is good. This is good. In the future, there are bonuses you can get for one being higher than the other, and that's something to pay attention to. I do not know how to manipulate them directly, so that's something to consider. Okay, yeah, we're good with this. We're going to start this one right now. This is the one we were kind of waiting for. Cinematographer, Doyle. And the stages are all available for us. That's good. I think we'll probably go... Let's see what we do. Oh, so here, because we have the level 2 sound stage and now we have props, these we can do level 2 when they're done on the stage. When they're done at location, we can still only get 1 star out of them. Every once in a while, there's an exception where something doesn't need the props to be able to get the 2nd star. So you do need to kind of pay attention to that. There is a site out there that tells you what all the numbers are that add this up. in my opinion, if I'm doing good business, these should be going to the right more than to the left. And so I'm happy with that. I'll stick with that. But you can go out and find how, does the diner need a level 2 soundstage, or does it just need the props, to get to 2 stars? You can find that information out there. I don't tend to sweat those details. I figure I'm trying to make the best movies I can for the most part. 217,000, that's not bad. And here we also now have better costumes. And this is going to go up $8,000, but a little over 7,000, but it will be worth every penny. And we will start to see improved quality in our films because of the props. Okay, so who wants to work this one? We have Bernard Spencer, or we have Dewey. We're going to go with Bernard. We're going to put our best on this one. And from a director, we're going with Herman. Actually, is this an action? It is an action movie, so this is helpful for that. Genres with which the actor is commonly associated after proving their skills over the years. So he could get a boost at the box office because people are used to Benjamin Schwartz action movies. That might be worth considering. In fact, I think we're going to go ahead and go that route. Before I do that, I'm giving him a gift. Yeah, we need to bump him up just a little bit there. But we're going to go with Benjamin. The Clumsy Oaf, we're going to go with Lewis. The Rival, we're going to go with Henry. We're pulling out all the stops on this one. Should have done the major movie release for... No, he wanted one in a year, not a major. So that was a little different, come to think of it. And then the Strict Parent. The 40-year-old's parent is going to be Lydia Globe. Actually, maybe... So the one thing we could think of is maybe the Strict Parent is over the Rival, right? But Lydia is the oldest actress we have. Makes sense that she is the elderly, or not the elderly, the strict parent. It's not ideal. Not going to pretend it is. Is there a different way we could go here? We could go with David. We're not doing David, and he's the only other one available. Charlie Graham is older, so we're going to hope that the makeup crew can make up the difference. Pardon me. And that's what we're going with. 228,000. I'll take it. My sense is this will end up being a really good movie. Okay, and Blood and Bourbon. Oh, almost. This is the script by our hired writer. I can't think of his name. Is it Roy? We'll know in a second. Hey, Carl Conti leveled up. What do we want from him? Well, I think we want to speed things up with cash. Here we go. Roy Zimmerman. And yeah. Where does this one sit? It has a little bit of everything from a genre perspective. American town with a hopeless romantic and a murderer, unrequited love. Antagonist repents and avenging loved ones. That can work. It's a lower end movie, but that can work. We're going to shelve it. And there. Okay. So we're ready to advance 3 different things. We're going to go right to left. Blood and Bourbon. Let's get it into distribution. It fell off there. So again, Emma is getting better, but she still, even at her best, is dropping these films. And that's too bad. We need to, but she's the best we got. So the more work we can give her, the better. Blood and Bourbon. What looks good? I think this looks good. Maybe this one. Let's go with this one. No, we're going with the middle one. I like the red. Okay. Where do we... Oh, well, we're going to release that on a holiday. That makes some sense. We need that week anyway to get the films printed cheaper. And we're going to max this out. And it is a 6.1. We saw that 5,000 seats was not enough for the one we did before. Now, the downside here is there's another romance movie in the theaters at the time, but there are no action movies. It doesn't appear. So we have a good chance of making some money on this one. I'm kind of willing to go pretty heavy. Let's go 4,000 extra seats, extra screenings in that first week, and then we'll drop it off significantly to about 1,000 more, and then we'll just go with our own stuff after that. But you want to capture as much money in the first week as you possibly can. And of course, it's that situation where you want to get as many people in without going over, right? So you want it to be 99.99, but it doesn't tell you that. So we'll go with that. So we know this is a romantic action movie, and we can print it in 6 weeks. That'll be fine. It gets us to the theaters on time. I've never seen that be a factor. It's not like they're ever late. So it's possible that could happen at some point, but I've never seen that happen. We definitely want 4 weeks. And I think I'm going to go ahead. I've been doing this once in a while to make sure that if something doesn't screw up and I lose the ability to continue a good run, this one's going to be good. Action and romance. It's possible it could attract young women with it having a romance edge to it. Really, I think we're going for young men, and then the typical moviegoers, which tend to be these. This captures some of the young folks. Circulation seems small, but they are celebrated for their excellent interviewing. I thought somewhere in here, among intelligent young people. There you go. So I think we'll go with this. Young men are going to go to an action movie. So we'll go with this. I think we're in good shape here. It's a lot of money we're spending on advertising. So we want this one to work. And there it is. Next, we can finally move this over and give Emma some more work to do. I don't know that her loyalty has a huge effect on her mindset, and we did give her a gift recently, so I don't think another gift is going to be helpful there. Maybe we could give her a watch. Let's see. What did we give her last time? Yeah, there we go. We gave her we gave her both. So too soon. Too soon. It's only been 6 months. Composer, we're going to go with Lewis. Film development, music. These are all pretty common for what we're doing to max things out as best we can. And let's see what happens. And then we have this one, Gangster's Moon. Ready to go into production. Its numbers went up pretty well. Locations, costumes, and props. We were not on the new props yet. So there you have it. Wonder how many points we would have gotten out of that if we had waited. Add a security guard. Like I said, I think I'm going to have to go hire some. Give it to the low-end guy. And there it is. Let's go check on security guards. Security guards. They're not security guards. They're security personnel, right? Well, here's a level 1. He's the cheapest guy out there. Here's a level 2 for about another $100. They have really similar stats. My dad's name was Arthur. I prefer that. We're going to go with him. And yeah, I think that'll do it for now. We're in pretty good shape there. Since we are not interested in keeping him, I want to arrange surveillance on, we're going to arrange surveillance on, David Gutman, just to see how that works. So we're going to select an agent. We're going to put a level 3 agent on it. This guy needs a gift, doesn't he? His happiness is way, way, way low. We don't like that. But we're going to organize surveillance with him. I can't click on that guy directly there. Can I get to him from here somehow? Yes, I can. There he is. We're not going to go crazy. He doesn't get cigars, but yeah, there we go. Okay. And we'll go ahead and we'll hit this guy up too. We don't want anybody offing themselves for feeling undervalued. And okay. So this guy that we set up will, I think it was him, we will follow David Gutman around and try to learn stuff about him. We'll see how that works out. There is a chance you alienate the person and they never will work with you again. David Gutman, I'm okay with that. I'm not really planning on keeping him around very long. All right. Well, I'll tell you what, I think we're going to end this episode here and we will pick up in the next episode right at this spot. I do appreciate your time. This is Hollywood Animal and my studio is Stubborn Mule Studios. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I would really appreciate it. You've heard the spiel, but it does help us out a little bit. And every subscription and every like is great. Also, please don't hesitate to leave comments. Let me know what you think. I usually post a question in the description that something about, how do you play the game? Love hearing those stories. Not going to say I'll adopt everything I hear, but I don't mind knowing how other people see it and how they like to work through these problems. So again, your time is great and thank you for it. And until next time, fair travels.